Hi, I am Terrence Thomas, founder of the Maximum Vitality Program. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over with you what it will look like when engaging in a coaching program by one of my coaches or myself. I think this term coach is quite popular in the knowledge sphere, as I will call it. Everyone's a coach, and I think this is a good thing because the more qualified functional leaders that we have out there, it just makes it makes it easier for people to find what they're looking for in terms of a guide and someone who can help them achieve their goals. But I wanted to go over the process that our clients go through when engaging in a coaching program, just so you understand the difference between what we do versus what else is out there. And again, if you haven't watched my introductory video on what is a holistic coach, that video may pop up at some point towards the end of this video to help you connect the dots in regards to the holistic nature of our work. And again, holistic just means understanding how everything is connected and understanding how your mind, your body, your lifestyle all mesh together into a system. So holistic is really having an understanding of how everything is connected and not getting too short-sighted as opposed to focusing on one thing and then losing the forest for the trees. So that is our definition of holistic, is basically understanding everything and how it works together. So I wanted to go over the components of our flagship program, which is the 6-week jumpstart coaching program. So the first thing that you'll do is you'll undergo an extremely comprehensive evaluation. Now, don't get it twisted with this evaluation, because this is actually where the whole coaching and where your progress begins, because the ultimate goal of this whole process is for you, the client, not to need me as a coach anymore. And the only way that's going to happen is if you are acquiring certain skill sets, so that way you eventually become independent. You understand what you need to do to maintain a high level of vitality. So that comes from acquiring skill sets. So that whole process starts with a very comprehensive evaluation, which has 5 parts. So the first part is what we call a holistic health workup. You're gonna get information about your organ systems, where your real stressors are coming from, the hidden stressors that you may not know that you're being hit by. There's a saying that the most dangerous form of stress is the stress that you're not aware of. Just like if you were in a combat situation such as boxing or mixed martial arts or something, the most dangerous punch that you can get hit with is the one that you do not see coming. And for most people, they don't really understand the severity of a illness until the doctor diagnoses them with a disease. Oftentimes, it changes their life forever. So by understanding all of the hidden stressors and how all of these stressors accumulate and eventually end up creating a disease or dysfunction, this is going to give you a real advantage in regards to staying at peak performance and preventing any potential life-changing illnesses that could occur down the road. I have another analogy that I often tell my clients and people who know me. You remember the movie Titanic? And that that individual who was standing next to the captain, advising the captain that they needed to change their course just a little bit because they were potentially heading for that iceberg. And I believe the captain said, "Don't worry, my friend, this ship can outstand or withstand anything," until they hit the iceberg and the ship went down. So I am that guy telling the captain that there's certain things that needs to happen now. There's certain course corrections that need to happen now to prevent you from running into XYZ health challenge, injury, life challenge down the road. This is my job. This is what separates what I do and what real holistic health coaches do. We're looking at you now, but we're also looking at you 10, 15, 20, even 30 years down the road. That's how real health is done. I mean, yes, I want you to get in shape. I want you to achieve your short-term goals as quickly and as expediently as possible. But to sustain those goals, this long game view has to be taken. Otherwise, you're going to be running in circles with not achieving permanent results. So this holistic workup is going to entail what we call a health appraisal, or what we call an organ systems stress survey. You'll be given specific paperwork and physical assessments, and we'll start to piece together where those potential icebergs may be showing up in the important systems in your body and in your mind, for that matter. Hormones, digestion, immune function, liver, these types of things. So every major organ systems in your body will get looked at, and then we'll be able to see it from a big perspective where the priority needs to go in terms of your healing, your nutrition, and all of that. I'm almost looking at your whole being as like an energy center. Are we losing energy over here? Do we need to bring more energy here? Are we balanced here? So this is what this organ systems stress survey will be doing. And then once we have that paperwork filled out, we'll transition into the physical part of that holistic assessment. This is where I will be able to correlate what I see in the paperwork with what's showing up in real life. Now, here's the cool part. And remember, I said that the coaching starts during the evaluation. Now, if I see that the paperwork and what I see physically are matching up, that is a good sign. That means that you, the client, is in touch with what you're experiencing. That's a good sign. Awareness is good because it's going to shorten the gap between you acquiring the skills and versus taking a longer time to make the connection. Meaning that when I see the paperwork not matching what I see physically, that tells me that bridge is going to take a little longer to connect. And there's going to be a little bit more education, a little bit more coaching to get that client, first of all, aware of their current situation in real time, and allowing them and helping them be honest with themselves as to where they're at, and then getting the skill sets moving forward. So this is one of the major benefits of this comprehensive assessment process. Okay. Then we will do the same thing in regards to your nutrition. Everyone's nutritional needs are as unique as your fingerprints. You are what you eat. Remember, your body replenishes itself every 7 years. Depending on what you eat or what you don't eat, the chemicals that you inundate with your body, the nutrients that you get on a regular basis, that's all going to determine what you're like in the next 7 years. There's your titanic course correction in the right direction. From a nutrition standpoint, we're looking to fill any nutritional deficiencies. We're looking to reduce any food violations. We're looking to reduce what we call displacing agents, meaning that are you eating things that are actually causing your body to drain its own resources? And make no mistake about it, just because a food is healthy doesn't mean it's right for your metabolic type. This is really important, because even if it's a quote unquote healthy food and it's not compatible with your individual chemistry and biological needs, it will still act as a displacing agent. So this is really important. And by having a guidance system to help you start to understand how your body responds to food, using what we call acute nutrition variable tracking, basically how your body's responding to food, and collecting these data points, now you're going to start to make food a legitimate medicine and a legitimate source of boosting performance and bulletproofing your health. And this process is done through another branch of our nutritional assessment, or we'll call it food type assessment, but technically it's a metabolic typing assessment. I use other technologies, but I'm just speaking of one of them. But understanding how your metabolism is performing now, and then keeping track of it, how it shifts back into ideal functioning, is going to, again, give you lots of ammo, knowledge to take charge of your health from a nutritional standpoint. And we'll go through that. And then the last assessment will be your lifestyle analysis, or what's your daily routine. At the end of the day, I can design the most comprehensive nutrition, diet, supplementation, exercise program, but if it's not conducive to your lifestyle, it's not going to get done. So understanding your rhythms and how to make your daily success routine functional. After doing this for almost 30 years, this piece is absolutely critical. Sometimes I just start with your routine just because it's that important. Because if your daily routine has already capped you out in terms of your bandwidth, and then all of a sudden we start to put more things on your plate, we've already put ourselves behind the 8 ball, and the likelihood of success is going to go way down. So by understanding your routine, understanding where we can shift things to make the routine more efficient and to run as automatic as possible, so that way you implement all of the steps that you need to get to your results, that is going to be the lifestyle analysis piece. So then once this assessment is done, now I can start to put together a plan for all of those areas. I'll be putting together what you need. I'll be taking into consideration what your bandwidth is, because that's important as well. And then we have to determine how to prioritize all of these 5 areas. That's important as well. I'll give you an example. Obviously, when many people start coaching with me, they want to lose weight, they want to get in shape, they want to feel better in their own skin. So they're looking to make the quickest results possible from a visual perspective. So now it's my job to help you achieve those goals, but also keeping in mind that we have a longer term goal, which is to build vitality, right? Looking good, feeling good, being healthy and fit starts from the inside out. So there's always this tug of war and this balancing act between coaching a client towards their short-term goals, but also making sure that they're positioning themselves for long-term success. So this is where the art of coaching comes in at. And that's where during the actual coaching phase of this, which is along the 6 weeks, this is where we'll be connecting the dots, you see. There's 3 things that have to be in place in order for you to have success. You have to have the accountability, You have to have consistency, and you have to be able to execute on the most important tasks that's going to move the needle with your goals. You can be focused, like for example, if you can be focusing on exercise, but if your diet isn't right and you're not executing the right techniques in terms of recovery and all the other things, you'll be placating your ego mind. You're thinking, okay, I'm doing the work, but I'm not going to get results. You understand what I'm saying? So at any given time, I, as the coach, will be focusing on what we call your big domino. Your big domino, meaning that what's the one thing or two things that's going to make the difference for everything else? What's going to set the whole train in motion? Is it diet? Is it more rest? Is it we have to address some particular health challenge that's creating what we call a blocking factor? All of these things this is where the art of coaching, and this is where understanding things from a holistic perspective makes the Maximum Vitality Program top shelf in terms of getting you the best results possible. So those are the steps. And then once we're in coaching mode, depending on which plan that you have, you'll either have weekly coaching in our group setting or individual sessions, depending on which plan you choose. If it's a 6-week program, we'll have 6 weekly calls. You'll have daily check-ins, either via text or email. That way you're literally having 45 days of consistent accountability. That way you stay on track. There's no lapses in information, and there's no lapses in time to where if we waited a week only without any communication, and all of a sudden we find out that for a week you've been eating the wrong food here, or you could have made a tweak, we've just lost a week. So I've built in these protection mechanisms to make sure that you're staying on track during the whole process. So this is what a 6-week jumpstart coaching program will look like. If this is something that resonates with you and you would like to have a conversation with me about it, go ahead and click the link in the description, and we'll jump on a success strategy call and figure out what your goals are, and I will map out a plan right there on the phone as to how we will get there. All right, hope you like this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.